It means a lot. It means a lot. I haven't been at the Save Mart Center in quite some time now, so you know, just pulling up down that ramp, walking into the arena, taking that same route that I would take as if I was going to the locker room. I think all of this is just refreshing and kind of taking me back down memory lane again.
Flat to Lepley, knocked away again, another steal. Shep in the open floor, ahead to Paul George, taking off from outside the key and throwing it down with the right hand.
I think maybe his greatest legacy is that he opened the door again for great high school young men from all around the world to come here and be a part of this program. So he's got a lot of talents, but I think most importantly, I think it's the character of this young man that is most impressive. He's always been grounded, and that's because of Paulette and Paul and siblings and family that have kept him that way.
It was home, you know, the second I stepped foot on the campus, everybody was just welcoming, everybody was excited about the basketball program. You know, without Fresno being a part of my story, nothing else would be a part of my story.
Paul George, for us, is a quintessential Bulldog, and this place will be his forever.
Wouldn't have dreamed this in a million years, to be able to come into Save Mart Center and to be able to look up and see 24 hanging in the rafters. So this is special. This is special to have my family here to be able to witness this. And you know, to have all you guys here to witness this as well. So, again, thank you.
You're kind of under the radar coming out of high school, not a big-time recruit, and here you are, first-round pick 2 years later. How much more upside do you have, you think?
I think my ceiling is pretty big. You know, I'm a student of the game. I like to learn. I like to know new things. Very coachable. So, you know, I'm only just turned 20, and I think there's a lot more room, you know, for me to get better. And I'm willing to get better, whatever it takes. You know, I want to be that, you know, next superstar.
With the 10th pick in the 2010 NBA draft, the Indiana Pacers select Paul George of Fresno State University.
You know, Stu, he's a little bit of a late bloomer. A guy who's 6'8", he's got a 6'11" wingspan, so he's long, he's very versatile. He's got all the tools. He's got a very good shooting stroke, he's got good quickness, he's got speed, and he's improved over the last year and a half. He's improved as a finisher.
Paul George, one scout reportedly said, in 5 years, you'll be the best player in this draft class. Why do you think he said that?
I mean, I just feel like I got a lot of potential to continue to grow. And, you know, I think just getting put in this system and this organization with Indiana, you know, I think the sky's the limit. And I really want to work to reach my full potential.
whole play was crazy. I was just looking at the time tick down, and the whole time I hear Coach saying, you know, make a play at the basket. I seen an opportunity to attack LeBron, and I was able to get past him. And I seen Birdman coming over a bit slow, so I knew it was an opportunity to make a big play there, and, you know, I just took off.
George makes his move on LeBron, blows right by, and he tomahawks it down! Oh, Paul George blows by LeBron James!
And then Brian leaned over and told me, you know, that was a big boy play.
LeBron across midcourt. James a deep three. Got it! LeBron comes right back and says something to Paul George.
He's like, hey, I got you back, young fella.
Oh, he gives Paul George a high five at midcourt.
The handshake was just mutual respect. He understands that I'm not going back down.
We're just two guys that's just trying to do what it takes to help our team win. He's really good. He's going to be a great one.
Just him knowing, you know, I'm around that corner, you know, that was enough for me. I knew going into this series it was going to be a lot of pressure on me, but just continue to keep adding pressure only makes me want to continue to keep performing.
George with 7 seconds, trying to hand off does to West, looks at the clock with 3, back to George in the air for the tie. Oh! He got it! Paul George has tied the game at 92 with 7/10 of a second remaining. Paul George!
A lot of plays that I've made in this series I wouldn't have made last year just because I wasn't confident in my game and, you know, not wanting to make that mistake. But this year, my team is counting on me to make those plays, and, you know, my team really needs me to make those plays. It's really me wanting that moment and trying to relish in that moment.
In less than 3 short years, Paul George of the Pacers has become the face of that franchise, first-time All-Star, getting it done in the playoffs.
All of that stuff, all the recognition now, it's great, obviously. You know, I love being in the spotlight, but it's nowhere close to where I want to be, so I guess the world just got to continue to keep waiting to get the polished Paul George.
Back real quick to think about this. So I remember when we played y'all in the playoffs. First year we played y'all in the second round, and I'm guarding you. You guarding me, right? So that was a matchup. The next year, I'm guarding you in the beginning. And then I remember when you really started taking that jump because Brian looked at me one game, was like, hey, like, he killing you right now. Like, you too.
We are seeing a superstar in the making here with Paul George.
Paul George goes to the rim for the emphatic dunk.
That'll get you going.
Oh my goodness, Paul George.
He's explosive and he's streaky. Here's Paul George, a 3 again.
I think the confidence that my teammates gave me really has gave me the confidence to go out and make those plays.
George fires for the tie. He's got it. George with the 3-pointer to tie the game.
Oh, what a shot by Paul George.
Driving to the rim, and Sheldon Mack has it swatted away.
Whoa! Paul George came across from the weak side.
George is right back. Miami gets back, and George in the face of Bosch. Right to the basket.
Can't stand under there and wait for that.
Boy, did he take off and pound that. Paul George continues to shine for the Indiana Pacers.
Uniform, that is. Derrick Rose a little bit too fast for his own good. Nice contest, but a foul. Paul George as Paul George ran into the stanchion.
My heart just dropped. I don't know if I've seen an injury that gruesome to anyone with my own eyes, let alone somebody I was so close to. It was an emotional night. You don't know how or if someone can come back from an injury like that.
He felt like the way he landed, it was his fault. I told him it was an accident. Like, you know, you didn't do nothing wrong.
It was a heartbreak, you know, and every moment from the ambulance to the hospital, he was just, I'm in so much pain, Mom. I'm in so much pain, but I'm gonna come back. You watch.
Doing good.
Paul George suffering a serious lower leg injury.
We don't know how he's going to come back. You have to wonder how this is going to affect Paul George going forward, because it's one thing that's happening.
It's something that I think I can overcome. It'll be a story that I can tell, testimony that I'll have, something that'll make me stronger. Indiana definitely takes the credit for who I am as a player. I became a man there. I became a superstar there. And I love the city, the fans in the front office. The dream when I got drafted there was to be a Pacer my whole career. But things didn't turn out the way I wanted it to and would have hoped it would have.
Right before he got injured, they had traded Danny Granger. And then after he got injured, David West left. And then Roy Hibbert left. And Lance Stevenson left. So his first year back, it was just George Hill and Paul.
And here I am in the dark, not knowing what's going on. You don't want to be a part of something that you don't feel a part of. That's what weighed on me.
Paul's whole mindset was, I didn't want to play out my last year knowing I'd like to leave. Let me make them aware of what I would like to do so that they would have an opportunity to trade for him.
Rumors started that the Cavs, Celtics, Clippers, Wizards, Rockets, all pursuing deals for Paul George.
Did you imagine a scenario where there was a place that might be able to convince you to re-sign there after having gone through a season?
Of course, I wanted to come home. I wanted to play in LA and play for my hometown. But then a lot of me looked at the situation, if a team comes in and you absolutely love it, why walk away from it?
Paul George, it is a three!
Oh my goodness, Paul George!
The bombshell of the evening, Paul George to OKC.
Here it is, a one-year rental with Paul George, considered, top 12, depending on who you ask the player.
When you landed in Oklahoma City at the airport this week, describe the scene you saw and the emotion of that.
It was unbelievable. I was told it was going to be a bunch of fans waiting outside. No clue it would have been 500 fans with signs, and as if we were, in Chesapeake getting ready for a game and running out on the floor already. Energy and love and a welcoming as soon as we landed. That passion, it's a part of who they are here. I was really excited about playing alongside Russ, one of the best players, and at that time just won the MVP. Here they have made a huge risk in trading for me, knowing I had 1 year on my deal. But I felt I didn't finish as strong as I could have. Just knowing that you left something on the table. Even to this point now, it weighs on me.
The OK3 season is over.
Jazz advance with a 4-2 triumph over the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What I bring to the table, that's not my concern. The most important thing is winning a championship.
Sam Presti stepped to the plate and made an offer and made a trade to try to get Paul George to come play with Russell Westbrook. That showed both of us a lot by making a move like that.
Players like Paul, one, there's not many of them. Two,
They're not often available.
Good. Chin down a little bit, Pete. There you go.
And three, probably more specifically for us, is as a smaller market in the NBA, our access to that level of player, it's not all the time just waiting for you. We felt like it was something that had to be done.
There you go. Yep, we got 5 more.
This is a stunner.
This is the latest Woj bomb. Paul George has agreed to a 4-year, $137 million max contract with the Thunder, including a player option.
If y'all didn't quite get it, let me say it again, I'm here to stay.
It's just not the story of scoring, rebounding. It's about overcoming obstacles, recovering from a horrific leg injury. It's the totality of everything in the story of their journey.
The 3-ball quickly, got it, and one! Why, George! Paul on the job!
George wants to win it for the Thunder. The floating shot.
He's the best two-way player in basketball.
Career high in points, assists, rebounds, and steals.
Never seen him play at this level. Really, the story, the revelation.
This guy has been amazing on both sides of the floor.
George, pump fake, 3 on the way. Yes! Paul George nails it.
They give it up to Adams, right back to Westbrook. Corner 3, George, that's good!
My role is simple, my role is to help steer the ship with Russ.
George steps into the 3. That's good.
You guys are the best player each and every night, leading the league in steals.
Career high in points, career high in rebounds, career high assists per game, career high in three-point percentage.
Paul George has finally arrived as a bona fide superstar in the NBA.
Incredible! On a massive shot from Paul George.
Sit down for this. Oklahoma City is trading Paul George to the Clippers.
In the early morning hours of July 6th, 2019, the Los Angeles Clippers shocked the NBA.
Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, now LA Clippers.
It's needed for us, for him to know that we need him, and it's needed for him as well to know that it goes both ways.
Paul George is close to making his Clippers debut.
Getting Paul George back, the dynamic shooter that he was last year in Oklahoma City, that is very exciting.
I've been doing this since May, so I'm tired of rehabbing.
Let's talk about Paul George.
Hasn't played really highly competitive basketball since, the spring.
When you sit out this long away from the game of basketball, it takes time.
I've never not played since April and then had 2 practices and played an NBA game. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Paul George for the first time in a Clippers jersey at Staples.
I've been in this position before, being out. I've grown so much as a player and as a person. At this point in my career, it's only one thing I'm after.
If you're a Clipper fan, this is what you've been waiting for. PG's in a Clipper jersey, and he's hooping it up.
Hearing Paul George from Palmdale, California for the first time in Staples, I think at that moment is where it'll settle, where it hits that I'm home and I'm representing for my city.